Good morning. On my way to Chorus for Thursday morning meetup with a gang of misfits and miscreants. Anyways, I want to talk about something titled Do the Impossible. So basically I'm talking about goals. And when I say do the impossible, when I look at my life and I look at the things that I've accomplished, there's no rhyme nor reason. Or if you look back when I was younger, if you looked at me, you'd say, nah, he's not going anywhere. By all accounts, I was a badass. I had no ambition. I was lost. And I was extremely shy as a child. So there was, for example, no way I was going to be able to be a communicator. When I'm talking to communicator, I'm talking about, being able to do a speech in front of others. But I did that in spades, and a whole bunch of other stuff happened. So I look back and I think, okay, what happened? Well, the fact of the matter is, I did the impossible. I set goals and I pursued them. And I think one of the worst things to do is to always be planning but never enacting your plans. The thing is, you got to set a goal and objective. You got to pursue something and get things going. You won't know where you're going, or you won't improve your odds of accomplishing something if you don't enact it, if you don't put things into action. See, fear keeps a lot of people back because they want to get it perfect. And somehow, somewhere in my life, I've always said I had more balls than brains, which is true. It served me. And I've met so many people in my life who were held back because of fears, or they were held back. Sometimes I'll talk to people and they'll say, oh, geez, I wish I could do that. And I'm like, well, why don't you? He says, well, I got this job. And it's like a job with a nice pension. So, well, okay. Let's call that golden handcuffs. You got to be honest with yourself. However, when it comes to doing the impossible, you got to start small. That's the thing. There was, like I said earlier, there's no way that I was destined to be any kind of a person who was able to do any kind of communication in front of large groups. But I joined Toastmasters in the early 90s, and I started small, and my goals grew. Week by week, month by month. I'm going to cross the road here. Everybody's stopping for me. And I had no idea how it was going to pan out. And that's the thing. You don't have to have an idea as to how it's going to pan out, but you do have to start. A couple decades ago, I took a program, a goal-setting program. It's called Monthly Mentorship. And I had to drive to Richmond Hill once a month to attend a 3-hour group-based sort of executive coaching, all based on goals, which most executive coaching is, including Tony Robbins and any other ones that I've taken in my life. But anyways, this was with Raymond Aaron, and he was running a coaching program in Toronto, Richmond Hill, Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. So once a month he would fly to all those different places and he'd coach a group. And you had to commit to 17 months minimum, which I did. A couple $100 a month. Drive down to Richmond Hill, attend a meeting, and do your goals. I love that stuff. I freaking love that stuff. That activity has served me so well in my life. I've acquired just about everything. The impossible has happened to me. I'm thinking, I got so many examples popping into my brain, but I'm running out of time, so all I can say is that everything happened. It was almost miraculous how things would happen, just by virtue of the fact that I would set a goal. Now, Raymond Aaron's program, his system, goals based, again, which is powerful. But he took it a step further, and he had 3 levels of goals. So every month you had to have 5-year goals, 1-year goals, and monthly goals. But every month you would do your goals, and you would have 3 variations of the same goal. So number 1 was sort of like, I can do this. Number 2 was going to be a bit of a stretch. That was your objective. And number 3 was like, you just had to come up with an outrageous version of that goal, which I loved. I love that idea. And his whole thing was, when you create an outrageous version of your goal, more often than not, it will happen. And I've certainly experienced that in my life. But you can't really get things going unless you put something down. And that's the important thing. So by me going there once a month, I was making a commitment. And every month I was doing my goals. And this idea that you had to have an outrageous version of every goal was just an amazing strategy. So that's how you do the impossible. First of all, aim for something. Aim for something big. Aim for something bigger than yourself. Challenge yourself. Don't worry about, oh, can I do this? Or this is stupid, or this is impossible. This is like a 6-lane highway here. I'm putting my life in danger. Yeah, do the impossible. And it's not external, it's internal. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to dream, and you know what direction your imagination needs to lead you into. The universe is omniabundant. Let it serve you. But show up, and tell it what you want. So, all right. I'm at Cora's now. And I hope you enjoyed this video.